Hello everybody, this is Barbara and we are working on the We Go Anywhere. Is that the way it is? Let's Go Anywhere. Let's Go Anywhere paper pack scrapbooking workshop by Close to My Heart. This is the last video I'll be making for Close to My Heart. Sad, but it's a beautiful set of pages, and here is page 1. And what you're going to do is put all of these pieces into the punch out that you received, and they go on pretty easy, but you're going to have to put that glue really close to the edge because the printed pattern paper pieces are just slightly bigger than the slot that they are supposed to go into. So you're going to have to get your glue really close to the edges of the cutout where you're going to put them. And you'll see that I've had to adjust several times to try to kind of make sure you don't want it to show through into the background pattern paper. So you've got to get that kind of just right on there, and you get like about a 1/16 of an inch edge on each of these colored pieces. So try to get them so that you do not see any openings around them. But see how close I'm getting to this. It's a little bit crazy. I don't know why they didn't make them just slightly bigger. But it's all over now, so it doesn't really matter. But it sure looks good. And this is something you could make on your own, too. Use your Cricut, to cut out pieces like this. It wouldn't be hard at all. And hopefully you have taken your Cricut out of the box. When I hear that people haven't done that, I'm just so sad, because this has been one of the best tools ever, is my Cricut. And I couldn't live without it. Matter of fact, I have 3 of them. Yeah, I think I do. I think I have 3 of them. I have the Little Joy and then the 2 Expressions, right? No, Explorers. So one day I'll probably get one of the big ones too. I see they have a really big one now. But anyway, so on to this. So once you get that on, then go ahead and glue the whole thing. And because of the grid paper that they gave you, you don't even have to measure. Just put it along the lines that they're about 1/4 inch in of the grid paper. Just match that right up. So simple. This whole page actually is pretty easy, especially once you get those pieces in, and even those were pretty easy. So now it's time to put the mats on. They do say in the instructions to go ahead and do your stamping first for both pages, but I just did it afterwards because there was plenty of space up there. I wasn't worried that I couldn't get the stamping on once I had the photos on. So I'm just kind of measuring there to get my photo right, and you're going to find that I went up too high. I went up 5 inches instead of 4 inches from the bottom, so you'll see me adjust that later. But it is going to be 4 inches from the bottom on that one. And then, I don't remember how much in, but you can read that on your page. Probably, I don't know. Read it on your page, but don't make the mistake of doing the 5 inches up. It's 4 inches from the bottom there. And also, I wasn't very light with my pencil marker, so I had to erase it a couple times. And then the next part was about 3.5 inches up from the bottom, I believe. And then just like 1/4 inch away from the big mat. And you're not going to see me actually putting the glitter paper, but I did add just a tiny bit of glitter paper. You'll see it in the next section here. So once you've got those mats down, then go ahead and this is something different. They rarely, it had been years since they had put a stamp set in with the scrapbooking workshop, the regular scrapbooking workshops. They did it with our specials of the month and stuff. So this was kind of cool. So for your last workshop here, you can get a little stamp set, which is a really nice stamp set that you could use many times. But that's in, I believe, what was it, espresso. And I just kind of put it up over there in the corner. And then, you know me, I don't like to have to cut my own journaling strips when I have this self-adhesive one. So I just cut this about 6 inches long off of mine. But you can use the one that you cut in the workshop if you want to, and just glue it down. But I love the self-adhesive. So, and then I just kind of centered that into the gray spot there where it has the little globes. And then they let it hang off the right-hand edge a little bit, which I think was a smart move. It adds movement to the page. You don't want everything to be all perfectly lined up. You want things to be a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of tension on the page occasionally. And so this goes right out of that, like that. All right, now it's time to do our decorating. We've got some cutouts, and then we've got the stickers. So this is where I suddenly realized that, this was up too high. I don't have a lot of room to decorate up there. And so I brought that all down an inch so that I could start doing the decorating in the right spot. And this is where your Versamat really comes in handy. So hopefully you picked one up before they ran out of those with Close to My Heart. I bought myself a couple extras. All right, now the stickers can go up there. I tucked that one just under the photo placeholder. And then because I don't have my photos down yet, the next sticker is not going to actually be touching the photo placeholder at all. I put it up on a little pop dot, and oh, you're not, oh, I didn't show that part yet. Oh, we'll be at that in a minute. So you do need to cut that border sticker too, and that is 4 1/4. I cut that border sticker that goes right under it. Now we should be going back to the little red sticker. And I popped that up, but didn't let it touch my photo. So you can see I put the pop dot above the photo, but then it let it hang over, but it's not touching the photo at all. All right, next is that big memories, collect memories sticker. And again, use the lines on the grid paper that you have there to line it up. And you don't have to worry about it being straight. And then we got some different little hearts. They looked a lot smaller on the actual page. So I'm like, is this the right one? But they're just a little bit bigger than they look on the page in proportion. I popped up the second one, left the red one down flat. And then this happened. So as I was finishing putting the embellishments on this piece, I got a phone call, which I had my phone turned off, but the phone call still came in and messed up my video. So I didn't realize that it stopped filming. So just all I did was basically finished up here these pieces. And I believe that was it. And I did end up adding a little bit of glitter paper down here, but I'm pretty sure that was, we were nearly finished on that, so so there it goes. Okay, page 2. One of these things is just like the other, so we're going to do the same thing, except we're just on the opposite page with the triangle going the opposite way. Again, keep the glue close to the edge of the stencil there, and then just fill in the places. I mean, you know, the little pieces, it's really quite easy. So while we're doing this, I'm gonna just say I am very, very grateful for the 16 years with Close to My Heart, and I'm so grateful for all the friends that I have made. And because I hate to even use the word customers, it just doesn't actually express my feeling for you guys. So I really, really appreciate you supporting me all these years, whether it's been recently that we've met, or all 16 years, which I do have some people that have been with me for a long, long time. It means a lot that you came to my classes and my or signed up for my team, or bought online, or bought from me in person, or came to my retreats. It means a lot to me, and I've made so many wonderful, wonderful friends that I know I'm going to have in my life for a long time, because of Close to My Heart, not just to my fellow consultants, but so many of you too. And you know, that we went from that customer maker relationship to really being friends. And I appreciate you all, and I hope that you'll treat Valerie the way you've treated me, and give her your business if you are interested in Stampin' Up products and the Close to My Heart products that will be sold by Stampin' Up. They'll just go by a different name, but a lot of them are coming over. A lot of patents were sold, so I really appreciate you all, and I'm still here. My Facebook page is still here, and I'm still doing retreats, and I still have some leftover close to my heart stuff in my stash, so in case you find that you need something, I might have it, so always feel free to reach out for that. Now, I just decided for this second page, we are going to put the triangle over the stamped image. So there's going to be one up on the upper right there, and then the upper left just a little bit lower. And then you can go ahead and add in that big triangle. And it just adds a nice look to it behind there. That is a great stamp. Don't give this one away. Don't sell it. Keep it. Because any of those kind of background stamps like that are something you can use over and over again, not just on layouts, but on cards too. All right, so get that all down. And that just, that's half the page right there. It's just getting that that done and on there, and it just is such a great look. This is not the first time they've done it, but it sure is a fantastic look. This is, let me see, how many inches was that? I don't remember. Let me see. That first one goes down, what is it, about 2 inches from the bottom, yep. And then the next one is about 1/4 inch up from there. And then we're looking at about, 3 inches from the left-hand side, I believe. Something like that. Check your notes to make sure I'm telling you right. And then it's just all about the decorating. And this particular border that you're going to put on the top photo is going to be at 6 1/4. So just cut that at 6 1/4. And then all the little bits and pieces. It's nice to have the difference between just stickers and the, the little kind of chipboard pieces that you get there. Adds nice texture. This is a great sticker sheet too. So this is only layout 1, so we'll see how many of the stickers. I always like when they use as many of the stickers as possible. But if they don't, you can feel free to fill up these pages with some more stickers. Don't go overboard, of course, but there's definitely spots for them that you could use here. I just, again, use the lines that are on this grid paper to kind of keep everything straight. Add a little space. Don't make the space all even between these. Make a little bit more space between a couple, a little bit less space. That little passport definitely needs to be popped up. It is adorable, as I've already mentioned when I was making the card workshop, that I just have an affinity for passports. Love them because, it means you're traveling the world, right? And so I just like the way they look, and that sticker is adorable. All right, what do we got left? Oh, just a few things. So a little heart on the upper left there. And then we're going to do the wonder piece, I believe. And this, X's first, sure, or plus signs, whatever. Then the wonder piece. It's hard when you're doing the voiceover on here. So I apologize that I'm not always in perfect order there. Now I think the next piece is the wonder piece. Let me see, yes. So this looks gorgeous, all in cursive. And so it's just so pretty, and it stands out so beautifully on that lined paper. So just kind of center it there, and it just looks so good. And there's supposed to be a journaling strip above it, but I think it will ruin the look. So, maybe put your journaling strip somewhere else, because that title just looks fantastic. So instead of putting the journaling strip next to that little arrow, I just stuck the arrow there, and I can always journal somewhere else because that wonder looks too good just by itself. Now we're going to do a little cluster with the globe sticker. That one's going down flat. And then the little green globe one is on a pop dot. Next, you want to pull off your arrow. Kind of we're working back to front, right? And that's going to go over that that globe paper behind it, and then a passport that is flat down. And the see the world is going to go on pop dots or foam tape, whatever you want to call it. And this cluster is awesome. It doesn't, you think it's not going to stand out, but it actually does when the whole page is done. And then the little red arrow, and then we've got one black jet. Oh, by the way, if you were watching my card workshop and I was talking about being nervous for a guitar recital I was doing, yes, I messed up at the very beginning, but then I rallied and kept going, and it turned out okay. All right, that's it. Down to layout 2, and with this one, I felt like this needed something because that's a pretty busy paper around the outside. So along with, this nice border from the toffee paper, I'm going to add in some scarlet paper just to make that stand out a little bit more from the busy luggage paper. It will also, not only because of the sparkle to it and the color, make it stand out a little bit more, but it's going to take up a little space on that luggage paper, so you're not going to see quite as much of it. It's a great paper, but it is busy, and remember, our photos are the focus. So you're going to cut, if you want to do this, cut your scarlet glitter paper, or just scarlet cardstock would work here. 10 1/4 by 10 1/4, and then for page 2 we're going to echo that with a 12 by 1/2 inch strip for the second page. Okay, let's get started. So left page first, and these 2 pages are pretty simple. But you want to start off with doing some of your stamping. You're going to go lower right, kind of center upper part, and then one over to the left. Now I did that twice because I wasn't sure if it was going to show, and you're going to see later that it doesn't. So try to go up closer to the top of that page with that top stamped image there, because I had to restamp it later because it didn't show at all. It was all behind my photo mat. So get that on the toffee paper, and then we're going to add that to the scarlet glitter paper if you want to use that, but that's just optional. But I really do think it lifts that out of that pattern, because this is just busy paper, so as I'm looking at it here in front of me, it really helps. So, and then remember, when you are putting anything on glitter paper, always to use lots of glue, because because of the surface of it, it's not conducive to adhesive. So, and then go ahead and put that on that base page. Now, one thing you can do, and I forget to do this on page 2, but go ahead and do your stamping for page 2, and it's just on the toffee strip is the only place you're going to have to stamp. But go ahead and do that, because you'll notice that I had to do it afterwards because I didn't see that I needed to do that ahead of time on that one. I might want to read directions next time. Get your mats all down, and again, use this. They've got this beautiful grid paper for you. Use those lines to help help line up everything. It is so much nicer to have lines there for you. So I just I used the grid paper and kind of did about a 1/4 inch from the top there, and 1/2 inch from the right hand side, and it just made it so much easier because those lines were already on there. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so here's where I noticed that the stamping didn't show. So I did the best I could. It's not going to look perfect up here, but I pulled off my little Scotch removable labeling tape. It's like a Post-it one. And I tried to stamp in between, but because it's at a little bit, the tape is at a little higher level, it didn't look perfect, but at least it shows there's a little something there. So so when you're stamping, just get that closer to the top. All right, now I believe I had to skip for a minute because I needed to really magnify this and pulled it up on my computer, the directions, because it was kind of hard to see. There's so much in this cluster So I kind of enlarged it on my computer so I could kind of figure it out. And then again, you want to work from back to front. So look at the page to see what is the furthest back on the page, because everything else is going to layer on those parts. So that's what I did, as I put down the ones that were the furthest back first, which was that compass, and then the little suitcase with the sunglasses in it, the key. All of those are in the background, and then everything else is piled up on top of those. So the thing I popped up was the passport, the red heart, and the let's go anywhere circle. And that you know, brings it so they're not too busy over there on the left-hand side, but it still is fairly busy. So, you know, the more you pop up these things, the better in that kind of a case where you've got a lot of busyness. So that adventure sticker could have been popped up too. And yeah, that's probably it. I would have just probably, the other thing I would have popped would be the adventures thing. And don't forget to put that little sticker that says adventure is waiting. You want to put that on there too. And then I just built from there. There's the cute passport again. And then what did we have? I was looking, oh yeah, probably more of those little, oh, that was the little airplane. Is that cute or what? I think they had it going straight left and right, but I just thought, well, it's an airplane. We needed to angle it up. And then a couple more stickers here. Popped up that heart. And it does look great. It looks great when you're done. I'm looking at both of these pages in front of me, and they're beautiful. And I don't know if you like to travel, but we do, so I can never have enough travel pages. We've got so many trips coming up. We're going to Cancun in a couple days. And next month, we're going to go to Washington, D.C. to visit my son. And then in June, we're off to California for a wedding of my nephew. And nothing in July, August, and September. But then October, we're going to France. So I need a lot of travel pages. It's my #1 favorite thing to do. Scrapbooking second. All right, get these extra little pieces on. This one goes up at the top. I only put glue on the top of it so that it wouldn't actually touch my photo, and I can later slip something under it. All right, I think that's it for page 1. Let's move on to page 2. Now, the first thing I did was I wanted to put some embossed journaling lines on the little piece that's going to say enjoy at the top. So I just embossed about every 1/4 inch, and then I did 3/4 of the way up, because then I wanted to put that enjoy on a smooth spot, especially since it's quite delicate and very tiny, and you're not going to be able to get a lot of glue on there. So I didn't want to have any ridges underneath that part, so I left that smooth at the top, just like that. And then just set that aside to dry, especially those teeny tiny pieces. And then I was looking, and I was trying to decide which side am I going to put this scarlet glitter paper on. I was thinking the right-hand side, but then there wasn't much space there. And I still wanted it a nice, you know, I wanted to show some of that luggage paper because it's really pretty. So I ended up doing it on the left. But first down, you're going to be putting, I think it's about, what is that, 3/4 of an inch away from the side. You're going to put that grid paper. And then about 1/2 inch from the edge of that, you go ahead and put the toffee paper. And then I'm going to do the 1/2 inch glitter paper on the left-hand side of that grid paper. Yeah, see, that didn't work on that side. I didn't like that, so we're doing it on the left. And that picks up the scarlet paper from the first page. You don't want to do something on one page and not the other. You want to echo it in a way. All right. Now we just have to put our mats on and then the stickers. This is a fast page. I believe, what was it? Something, was it? Yeah, 1.5 inches from the bottom you start. And once I got that first one down, then I was using, again, the grid paper to the right to make sure that my second piece was lined up. So you just line it up against one of the lines on the grid paper. And it makes everything straight, as long as your grid paper's on straight, right? Then everything else looked like, oh, what was it? About half an inch above that for the journaling. And it just matches up with the photo below it. And then I was trying to think, am I going to pop up this 4x6? And because you're kind of tucking some stuff under, it's a good idea to do it. So you're going to notice that I'm putting my foam tape down about 3/4 of an inch there from the top so I can tuck. And everything else will be glued down. But I've got little, what do you call them? Tabs that are going to go at the top. And so just leave a little space there for the tucking. And that one goes right next to the other one, about 1/4 inch apart. And then just pull out those 3 tabs from your sticker page. And again, we're looking which one is behind, and it's going to be the red one. And the red one's up and behind, so not right down under. And then I thought, oh yeah, it looks like it's over a little bit more. You see I left a little space there, so the other ones can go down lower. And the third one is the lowest of all. And then you're going to be looking for that little black heart that was in the tab that we used on the last page. And just a dot of glue should do it. And then we're going to build a little cluster on the lower right. That balances the cluster that you did on the last page on the lower left. All the principles of design will make your pages be better, and proportion and balance and the rule of thirds and movement, all of those different things. If you ever get a chance to just kind of read the principles of design, won't take you long, but you'll find that they work not only for layouts, but for cards, for decorating your home. I mean, all of these things. Texture, another thing, you know. It's just some few basic principles that are really going to up your scrapbooking and card making. So this is where I noticed that I hadn't stamped that last little, whatever you call that background. I forgot what they called it. And so I just put down, again, my Post-it tape, stamped it, all fixed. So you wanted to do that first. And then I moved my sticker up a little bit so I had some room. I should have moved these all up just a touch more so that scenic route one wouldn't be stuffed down in the bottom. But in the long run, it worked out okay. But do pay attention to those kind of things because you get carried away sometimes with these stickers. I popped up the little red heart sticker. And then we had that little tiny arrow. You'll notice that I usually put the glue on where I'm going to put it and not necessarily try to fit it on that tiny little piece. Difficult. And then we got the little plus signs. We should be running out of those now. And I again put the glue down on the page. I just made a little plus sign of glue and put it down. And it's just so much easier than trying to get it on that tiny, tiny little embellishment. And I think we're about done there. So let's bring up both pages. And there you go. Sorry, you can't see them real close. Okay, last page ever. This is the last layout from, I keep having to look up the name of this paper. Is that crazy? Let's Go Anywhere. Let's Go Anywhere. Oh my gosh. Isn't it funny how some things just will not stick in your head? Anyway, you want to do a little bit of stamping first up at the upper right and then the lower left. And then this is probably the easiest page that we're going to do because it's just putting down some strips of paper, some beautiful layers that are going to go behind your mats. And just start at the bottom and work up from there. Try to use the dots on the page to help you line up all these different papers. And I did had to adjust on the second page a little bit. But it's pretty straightforward here, so I'm not even going to give you the measurements on them, but just going to be about a 1/4 inch away from each other. But in the meantime, as I add these on, again, just want to say thanks for everything, you guys. And it's interesting that this is going to be the last one. I don't know if I'll ever make more videos on, you know, other products from other companies or what, you know. I've never been a fan of making the videos myself. You know, I love the projects, but sitting and doing the videos and trying to be aware of what I'm doing so that it's clear for everybody and stuff, just really just not one of my favorite parts. So close to my heart, probably my least favorite part. All the other parts have been pretty awesome, I won't miss the videos, and I probably won't be making any unless I just do some short things, you know. I like to teach techniques and stuff. So stay tuned to my color and shape page, because I plan on running that for a while. I don't see just leaving that page. And now I'll be able to share other things with you that aren't just close to my heart. I am a big fan of many different companies that make beautiful papers and embellishments and stamps and all of that. I'm probably more likely to concentrate on scrapbooking, because that's my true love. But I do have a lot of card workshops and stuff that I will need to do up. So I may just share tips from time to time. And I for sure am going to be sharing a lot of artwork. On May 1st, you're going to see a whole bunch of different papers you've never seen from other companies, because I've got lots to share there that I've been holding back on. It's going to be fun. And I am still doing my retreats up in Marshall, Michigan. So if you've never heard of them, there's a great Riverside Retreats, 7 houses up there. I rent the house. I sign up people, and then I do all the cooking and taking care of them for the whole weekend. Usually 4 days, Thursday to Sunday. So if you haven't heard about that before and you live in near mid-Michigan, or Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, I've got girls that come up from all of those states too. I love doing those retreats, and I love cooking, you know, what I like to consider fairly gourmet meals. At least they're true home cooking meals. I do not do a lot of packages or frozen foods from that. I try to do from scratch for the most part on all my meals, and give you a big variety. And I work with people's food issues, that kind of thing too. So I would love to see you. So Boutique Retreats is the name of my Facebook page for that, if you want to look me up there, or you can just message me and I'd be happy to send you the link too. So, okay, we've got all of these pieces down, and now we're doing our decorating. I've got the mats down, and so it's just a matter of sticking some of the stickers and the chipboard pieces down here. I don't think there's anything else that's complicated. I'm going to use my journaling stickers again instead of cutting a piece of cardstock, and then just put that down. And the beauty of that is I'll also be able to add more later if I need more journaling. Who knows who I'm going to put on this page. But my niece travels a lot because she's a flight attendant. I love doing her pictures. My middle son loves to travel. Just got back from New York. So there's lots of traveling going on in my family. So I cannot get enough of the travel papers. And you'll see a lot more from other companies too if you're watching my page, because I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling myself, and I'll be using some other layouts from other companies too that I put together. So you get to see all that too. And then they'll, of course, be Stampin' Up. I'll be using some of their papers too. So it'll be a big variety on my page. And if I haven't said it enough, you know, make sure that if you are going to buy Stampin' Up, that you see my friend Valerie Turner. And I can put a link to that, to her Facebook page in the comments or in the introduction or directions, whatever it is. Description? Maybe it's description. below this video. And I will also put my Facebook page there if you haven't joined up there. And I'll put a link for boutique retreats too, so that you can find me. So we're almost done here. And I love that Travel With Me title there. And so I thought, yeah, we got to pop that up. We got to really make that the star here. And so I laid down the arrows first. And now that'll go right up there and it'll really pop out. And then I think, are we nearly done here? Or we got just a few pieces? Oh, just a few of the little X's. Let's see, that might be it, yeah. So, second page. Again, you're gonna do the background stamping. And we're using sapphire ink, by the way, instead of that toffee or whatever, or espresso. We were using espresso before. So just kind of estimate where they put it. They don't give you a measurement on where that's going to go. It doesn't really matter. It's just add a little more interest, little texture kind of look. Not actual texture, but a look of it down there. And then this page is just like the first page. You're going to start at the bottom, work your way up with all of those different strips of paper. And then we'll just decorate around them. Very, very simple. But look, you're getting six pictures on this. And remember that if you don't want to do 3x3 photos on page 1, you could have done 2 4x6 easily. Just eliminate the 3x3s. On page 2, the one we're doing now, instead of using 3 3x3s, you could use a 4x6 and a 4. And you would still have plenty of room to put those down. It would not really affect the layout. You would just move a couple embellishments over, but that's it. So just because it says 3x3 doesn't mean it has to be. You can always alter these things. I know that perfectionists, because I used to be one and still have some tendencies to it, do like to you know, do it exactly right. Can you see I'm just slightly crooked on this green one? And I didn't even really notice it until I started to put the mats on. Even though I went and looked, you know, I flipped it around and still I was a little bit off. So once I started putting those mats on, I noticed that that was just slightly off. And if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that that bugs me. So I'm going to have to fix it in a minute once I get these going on there. These would be really adorable popped up too. Just depends on how thick you want your albums to be. That's the difference. There's no doubt that the popping up of things and adding texture and thicker items does make your album expand, but it also makes the pages look better. So it's just up to you, whatever your aesthetic is on that. And so I got, yeah, I put the first one down there, the second one, then I'm like trying to put the third one. But you can see right there, if you look, between the gray and the green, that green is just slightly tilted down there. And so I didn't realize it until I was trying to put this up, and I'm like, ooh, wait a minute, it's going up on the right-hand side. And that's gonna bug me, so. But that's right there where you could do the 4x6 and a 4x4 easily. You could even do 2 4x6s, but they would touch the bottom and the top of the page. So it's all dependent on if you want to do that. So once that got straightened out around, much better. Now it's just time to decorate. Isn't that an easy pattern? One of the best things about these workshops is now you know. Look at how simple this is to do just a background using probably some of your leftover papers, because these aren't really that big. What are they? Maybe 8x3, something like that. And we all have tons of scraps. So you could just take some scraps like this that go together, maybe from the same paper packet, maybe not, but just if they've got some colors that coordinate with each other. And then just do this kind of a zigzag of strips up the page. Do stamping behind them or not. You could do dry embossing lines if you're going to use a white page behind it, or any color page really. You could dry emboss lines that would add texture in the background. This pattern could be used again and again and again. So I only put one little dot of glue for those tiny ones. But I just kind of made it a big dot of glue for that actual thing. So it's not, you know, it's tiny, but it's like a big glob. If that makes sense. In proportion to the little X's. All right, and a little bit more journaling strips here. I don't know, I think they cut those right about maybe 4 inches, something like that. It looks like it's about 4 inches. And then using my my ruler to line them up, and then using the first one to be the guide for the second one. And now to make it look cute, you want to add the little airplane sticker. And you do want it to go over part of the journaling strip, not just off to the side. This is all the layering technique, you know, overlapping, that kind of thing. Makes it look so much better. Now, if I had put that off of the journaling strips and just kind of left them, you know, floating in space, not very grounded, it's not going to look as good. And now, because we want to work with the rule of threes, you know, you got the airplane, the little globe sticker, and then the sentiment. That's like a group of 3 right there. And then we're going to do the stars and the scenic route, and then the tag cluster. So that's also basically a group of 3. So I laid that tag down flat, but you could pop it up. But I knew I was going to pop up the word scenic route, so I wasn't too worried about it. But that could all be popped up, all of it. The other reason I didn't want to is because the arrow would be kind of hard to pop up because it's quite narrow. And so it was just easier to put those 2 things down flat and then pop up the scenic route. And sorry about the view is not as good as usual, but I accidentally left my phone holder up in Marshall, Michigan, and I'm not going to be able to get it for a couple weeks, so I had to buy a real cheapy one. And it just doesn't go up high enough and doesn't stay on my desk very well either, so I miss my other one and can't wait to have it back, whether I do videos or not. Add a couple X's over on the right. Those are the ones that could be moved over if you needed to do a 4x6 and a 4x4. And then this adorable kind of world map definitely is going to look better popped up. It's so cute. And one of the reasons you want to pop it up is because it's the same color that you're putting it on that pattern paper. And it'll disappear into the background if you don't pop that up. So I really recommend you do on that one. And then the fly away with me, I just kind of adjusted so it would fit so I could see the whole word. They've got a little more to the left, but I moved it a little bit to the right and kind of I lined it up with the bottom of the blue pattern paper. And then I popped up the little arrow, and I believe we're going to be done. And I hope I see you guys again. Even though I'm not doing videos anymore, please come and join me on my pages. Goodbye.